I like doing this every year. We're going to be going ahead. We're actually going to be doing our charity stream on Saturday. What that entails is there's going to be a full list of incentives and stuff, but basically every 2 subs, we have to get rid of the highest rated player. It'll be listed. I'll put it down either in the description or it'll be on my Twitter, which will also be in the description. So we're going to be raising money to write love on her arms, which will be awesome. It's a great organization. It's got a really good message. And this will be the second time that we do this. The ultimate incentive is for 100 subs.
We will actually delete our entire club.
Alrighty guys, what's going on? It's GIGA here. We got ourselves a club tour of our entire FIFA 22 FUT campaign this year. It's been quite a year. There's been lots of ups, plenty of downs, but we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna take a look at all the different cards that we've gotten this year. I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm sure you guys have lots of these cards. I'm sure there's cards that are missing as well. So I'd be interested to hear which card you think that I missed out on the most. I tried to get as many as I could this year. Obviously, I didn't get all of them. But yeah, let me know what you think and let's begin. The one card that I want to start with, and I was actually just talking about it, the one card that I want to start with is my Team of the Year, do I already have him? Yes, my Team of the Year Lewandowski card. This was the first year I've ever packed a Team of the Year. Lewandowski is easily my favorite player this year, just in real life, which also made him pretty popular for me in the game. Obviously, we've got over 500 games with him. I don't know if he's the most I played with out of all the cards, but he was easily one of my favorite to play with. Really cool card. I wish more people wanted to play with 4-star cards that don't have perfect dribbling. But for this time of the year, he was awesome. Other cards that I think to start off with were just insane for not a large majority of the year, but cards that I thought were really, really fun to play with. This Bale card is certainly up there. It's about as close to perfect as you get. And his traits are really, really good. He's probably the most complete forward I've used in a game. Now, I haven't used R9 and R10 and all that junk, but he's really, really good. Going through the rest of the just starting 11, this entire team is untradeable. Every card here is untradeable. So they all came from the 85 and 87s and all that, the packs and all that. We've got ourselves this Hazard right here. We've got ourselves Dembele. We've got ourselves Barella. Got ourselves Conte, got ourselves Griezmann. You can go down the list. This Varane, interestingly enough, I don't think he's that much better than just the other version of Varane. So that's the card we're talking about. This is the other one I'm thinking about right now. I just don't think he's that much better, honestly. I think he's very similar in game. So despite being 99 rated, it's fine. This Cordoba card's awesome. Barella was also awesome. Cafu I used a lot. 400 games. He was definitely a great right back pickup. I feel like right backs were harder to find than left backs this year. So he was solid. Kevin De Bruyne, my first, Cancelo was my first Team of the Year. But 600 games with him, he's just a club legend. He will go down in infamy as one of, if not the best midfielders I've ever used. He's just amazing. He's sick. Everyone knows his Chiellini. Excellent. I think it was an 83 and an 84 rated for him, and everyone was like, this is the best SBC ever. So he was great to use. He still is great to use. But Rodrigo was the other, one of the best feeling cards in the game, I feel like. He's just different on the ball. He's really hard to get off of it. Defenders, Team of the Season cards. Leao was pretty good. He's not amazing. I think this Zapata's just as good. But, still a fun card to use. If we go through the rest of the club without looking at too many of the loans and whatnot, I used this Modric a little bit. He was cool. Kimmich is very similar, a little slower, a little clunkier, but still very good. He feels like Lam, the Moments Lam card, if you guys ever got that. Team of the Season, Lewandowski. I don't know if I actually ever played with him. No. Because I had the Team of the Year. Now this one has 5-star weak foot, so that was a big deal. Then we've got ourselves Kane. We used a lot, especially when we were doing our Spurs team. That was fun. Insigne, I think most people have this one. I don't know if many people still use it. Team of Season, Pedri and Immobile. This Fernandinho is very fun to use. Really, really interesting, especially when trying to formulate your endgame Prem teams. He was very, very good. Shapeshifter Davies was cool. Vlahovic I don't think I've ever used. Nkunku's obviously amazing. He was $1 million and some coins for the longest time. He's very, very good. Werner, this is like the fakest stats card I've ever used. I've had him over and over because of the 85 times 10s and stuff like that. But I think I have missed more shots than shots I've made on target with this card, despite having 96 finishing and long shots is 92. So it's just fake. I just think, and it has 5-star weak foot too. I just never could score with him. This Diaz card, on the other hand, was very good. I really think this card is great. So, what else do we got in here? Other team of the season cards, some reds, Ruben Diaz, Haaland. Haaland is actually fun to use. Clunky, but fun to use. Once he's if he's in front of the defense and they're trying to chase after him, you can't knock him off the ball. You cannot. This Felix card is actually very good. Grealish is underrated. The 5-star weak or skill moves is very, very good. I had him playing Cam, and he was excellent. So that was cool to see. Tonali is very good. He's very similar to Barella. Yes, very similar to Barella. Spinazzola is a fake card. Stats don't mean anything. Honestly, I think this is one of the worst shapeshifters that were available. Lloris is very good. Red, so that was a fun one to have. Koulibaly's great. This Trent was also awesome. Just really, really good. Easily one of the better midfielders I've used the entire year. Now, obviously, he's endgame, but super, super good. This is the Bundesliga version of Vieira, the Sao card. 5-star weak foot, also just awesome. Just nutty stats, just absolutely nutty stats. Also, I think he's bigger in game. Like, he's not 6 foot in game. He feels taller. So, you know, whatever works. Allison's broken in this game. He's either like incredible or he doesn't do anything. He's either amazing. I mean, that goes for most keepers. He's either amazing or he's just terrible. Ben Yedder's also really good. I don't think I used him with this particular one. But, you know, Ben Yedder always has that kind of just nitty-gritty card. He's hard to get off the ball. He's really quick on the ball. If he has even just like a foot to shoot it, he'll slot it into the corner. He's super good. Kroos I never got to use, but I really wanted to. 5-star, 5-star is interesting for him, considering that he's got really good dribbling stats already. And defensively, he's pretty good despite the heading accuracy. But for like a Real Madrid team, that'd be pretty sweet. So I never got to use this Gomez. Aubameyang is what you would have thought. I tried to get all the different versions of Bale. I don't even know if I was successful, actually. But we can check that later on. Traore's broken. He's actually super, super good, as you would think. Madison, just another decent card. El Shar is super, super good. These Fuddies cards, these were the, what do you call them? You like did squad battles and you got these cards. For squad battles versions, these cards are really good. So especially this James, someone was telling me that this mount is actually fantastic. I've never used him, but that doesn't mean he's bad. Pateau we used a lot when we were playing, what was it called? The Brazil Cup. The Brazil Cup objective. He was super, super fun to use. So that was cool to see him. This was our first ever Team of the Year card. Cancelo. It was awesome, except for the fact that we thought we had gotten Ronaldo. But he's easily, especially when Team of the Year came around, he was easily one of the best defenders in the game. And you could play him at center mid or CDM, and he was just so well-rounded. He was very, very good. We had 450 games with him. This mid Zidane was pretty good, but eventually his dribbling just let him down. Like, he just felt so heavy on the ball. So we had to drop him eventually. Henri we had for a little while. We played with him a little bit. He was okay. He was alright. They gave him the agility boost this year, which was a big deal for him, for this particular Prime Moments version. And he also has finesse shot, I believe. Yeah. So he wasn't bad. I just didn't really get into his like flavor, if you will. Dele Alli I did because he had that Spurs link. So a lot of people used him. I didn't really appreciate it. I didn't think he felt super powerful in the game. I've never used his Corona, but people are using him as striker and terrorizing me for a little while. Kalulu's good. Wood I don't think I used. No, I guess I did use him for a little bit. Obviously, I didn't remember that. Cahill's very good. Laporte was very good. Reyna's okay. All these, it's amazing to see all the different kinds of players that they have available so that you can really make whatever team you want. And I think that's something that they did super well this year. I really, really do. Chimeni was amazing. Savage, I never got to try. Paqueta's great. Hakimi was great for most of the year. This Mora card is underrated. He has fake stats in the sense that his shooting is better than what it is. 93 shooting, he's got like 98 shooting. Everything goes in with him. And he's got 107 attack positioning. I know it doesn't show it, but he does. It's amazing. This card is amazing. I really liked that card. I'm a little biased because I'm a Spurs fan. This De Gea, it was my best goalie the whole year. He's so good. He just saved everything. I felt like he had good hands, like he wouldn't just bobble the ball or anything like that. I don't know if you guys got this card, but I think he was, especially with the link to Varane, like, we could even go back to the team right now, but it's going to send us all the way to the top of this list, so we're not going to do that. I think this card is very, very good. Isco was mediocre for me. I didn't think he was that great, but another card that you could link with Madrid players. Romero was solid. This, I think, because he has like strength or something. He's got 94 strength. Something about this just made him seem like he was, maybe it's his aggression, 96 aggression. That just made him feel like he was always on top of the person as soon as they got the ball, and then his tackles actually were good. He didn't miss a lot, or like he wouldn't tackle and then it would still go back to the other team. It wasn't anything like that. Very average toward the end of the year, this Mendes card. Variety people liked. I didn't really care for him. Thought he was just kind of meh. St. Juste is okay. I played with him a little bit. He's fine. Davies also super good. Awar I never got to use. He's just fodder. This Salah we used for a long time. I forgot about this one. So this was Player of the Month Salah from, I don't even know actually. He was super good at the time. He was like 1 million coins in terms of untradables and stuff. Whoops. In terms of untradables and stuff like that. But I just remembered that he would terrorize people with his left foot finesse. Does he have? Yeah, he has finesse shot. He also has outside of the foot shot trait, which I remember using with him as well. Amazing card. 278 goals, 153 assists. But this, he was very good. Very good. This Varane, like I was saying, I think was just amazing for a very long period of the second half of the game. So 500 games with him. Maldini was pretty good. I didn't feel like he was great. It's mid Maldini. Just for when he was available, I don't think that he was super on top of it. But he's all right. I obviously used him. So this Lam, on the other hand, was amazing. He was a perfect link for the midfield. He's defensively insane. Like, he's always there. He's like Conte. He felt like Conte, just with better links, because he's, you know, an icon. Kulusevski, I was glad I got this one. He's fine. He's not great, but he's fine. His finishing's pretty good. The Sule was certainly good to link Lewandowski and Davies to. So that was nice. This Lamar, I think I was gonna say maybe used once. But we got him. Mignan is insane. There's something about him that's just, he always gets a hand on to every shot. Mukiele's very good. Fofana I never got to use, but I'm assuming he's pretty good. Who else do we got? Golden Mbappe, still broken. Icardi, I forgot about this one. So this was Team of the Year, I think. I think this is still Team of the Year. This one was pretty good. I think a lot of people did this. His jumping and heading, yeah, I remember everyone really used. So like crossing became functional again in the game simply because of this. So it was cool. It was nice to see that just because of a card, like the game opened up, you know. I think that's pretty cool, personally. I think that's pretty cool. Caligari was nice. I use him a little bit. He's good defensively. The right mid status for him was interesting because it was kind of hard to make that happen, but I never used Di Maria. Gold Conte still a gem. Just more loans. What else do we got? Everyone has gotten this Bremer card if they've done an 85 times 10. Kier, this was during the Euros, when the whole Ericsson thing happened. So they gave him a card, which was super cool. I used him a little bit just for like friendlies and stuff like that. Of course, we got Akinfenwa. I actually remember when the SBC came out and he was pretty cheap to use. people actually used him, and his dribbling, his balance was broken. Like, he moved so fast for being such, like, 99 strength, aggression, all that stuff. 99 physicals. He was so good. Sanchez was for our squad, for our Tottenham squad. He's fine. He's got 5-star skill moves. It makes it a little fun. Delict, and then we finally got to it. Ginola. This Ginola, is this the first year that these cards came out? I don't even remember. But this Ginola we got from one of the hero player picks, I want to say. I want to say that's what it was. I'd have to look it up. We got him, and I just remember he was so good on the wing, but then when it came to like trying to finish shots, there's something about him. There's just, everyone else when they use him, he's great, but when I use him, he misses, or like he was super clunky. The 75 balance, that's what it was. I felt like I couldn't turn with him, but everyone else is doing these like messy 360 turns and stuff like that. So I don't know. I mean, obviously he's great, but like there's something very limited about him that I just couldn't get on, you know? I don't know. Tanganga I used a little bit, actually, outside of just the Spurs stuff. He's okay, you know, he's fine. Not great, not terrible. He's just okay. Fodder, this Dest we used for a little while. He was on 7 chem with Maldini. I think this is when we had Salah in the team. So he's good. He was definitely good for the time, especially. He was above average. Pavard we used to try and Lewandowski. He was alright. I didn't really like him, but he was okay. He was usable. Mahrez I think I did for like a little while. I don't think he was that great. Pulisic we actually did use a little bit, especially for subbing. The 5-star skill moves version, this was fire and ice. So the fire version had 5-star weak foot. We got the skill moves version. And I gotta say, I was pretty impressed with him. His finishing wasn't great all the time. Obviously, 75 shooting is not ideal when you're coming up against Mbappe and all that. But I feel like he found little pockets and stuff, and he was also just a better winger. Like, you can see his passing at 87 is pretty good, especially for when Fire and Ice was going on. What is this, 2 months into the game or something like that? Maybe, you know. I enjoyed it. This Awar card, I think we used for a while. Yeah, pretty good. Very solid, especially for the time. Felipe Anderson we used for a little bit, nothing crazy, more squad battles I think than anything. This Klaus we used for a little while, 227 games. This De Gea again, player of the month. I think we just had it because it was like, you could put some cheap fodder in and you got an 87 out of it. Ronaldo's just stuff that we had, but at the time was a really good card. I've never played with him. This Bergie we've had for a long time, and just until he got the 99 pace, finally was he usable. Gravenberch we had for a while. He's just that. Nkunku, this was during Rule Breakers, so we actually had this Nkunku for a little bit. I remember when we were deciding between this version and then I think there was a shooting based version. I really enjoyed this version, but at the same time, like, we barely ended up using him. This Fofana we used a lot. I do remember that. His card was very solid in the midfield. He was like Vieira, the cheap man's Vieira, if you will. This Keane, I forgot about Keane. This was like our first good player. This was like last year, it was Dalglish, I think. This was basically our Dalglish. He was so good. He was so good. He was so good. His links were amazing. He like knew how to find his way through defenses. This is back when people were still using, you know, like Kimpembe and stuff like that. But man, this was so cool to have. So cool to have. I loved it. I really enjoyed Keane. Gosens I barely used. I remember making a big deal about it during the SBC, but I barely used it. And then this Benzema, dude. People love this Benzema, this flashback Benzema. 4-star was great. There's something about his dribbling that just made him super good. He was able to like get around defenses and stuff like that. But inside the box, he was just different. You couldn't play with him as like the regular Benzema where you would be like crossing and jumping and all that stuff. But I just remember like going back to like how he would be running down the middle of the field. And then even on his left foot, he was pretty good. And so if you did the crossbody shot, you still had to defend it because your goalie wasn't great at the time, you know. So, man, oh man, what a team, what a card though, sorry, what a card. I remember this like running rampant. He must be one of, if not the most like upvoted players on FUT. I haven't used any of these, any of those. Insigne. Oh, this Vinicius we used so much. This card, so Vinicius at the beginning of the year, everybody knows was just nuts, just bonkers, right? Just bonkers. So his thing was that he was super fast, right? His dribbling was insane, but his shooting was different, right? So even with this one, I remember for a long time this card was like 400 or 500k just for the inform. It was one of the most meta players for the entire, especially for me, obviously. Having him inside of the box, if you did do a little like scoop turn into a shot, he was good. He was good. It might not be the hardest shot because he's only got 83 shot power, but he was very good. I really enjoy. I've never really gotten to play with a card like this before, excuse me. And he was super solid. I really, really, really enjoyed using that card for a very long time. 554, so very similar to Lewa, actually, that's interesting. Fellaini I might have used a few times. Koza we actually used a little bit. I remember this. There's another French center back link. Solid, fine. Edouard we had for a few games, nothing crazy. Kyle Walker's got to be fodder, right? Yeah. Bale, I think we actually used him a few times. Yeah. He's, you know, we again just trying to get all the different versions. What else do we got going on here? I never used this. I still don't know what the purpose of this was. Next generation Pulisic. I'm pretty sure they just never did anything with this. I don't know if anyone still has this. You know, I think we all got one for free or something, and there was like Mbappe and Pulisic, of course. I'm trying to, Bellingham might have been another one. I'm not entirely sure. This Bergie, I wanted to say we were thinking about dumping him into something. Raspadori we used a little bit. He's just cheap and easy to use. And then other than that, a lot of these other cards are just going to be regular ones, right? Just red cards. Camavinga, I actually think we got at the very beginning of the year, if I'm remembering correctly, when they had like a, you know, you get a free team of the year, or ones to watch, sorry, ones to watch. You don't get a free team of the year, come on now. But yeah, so he was there. And then I think that's about it. I think that's about it. I like doing this every year. We're going to be going ahead. We're actually going to be doing our charity stream on Saturday. And so what that entails is there's going to be a full list of incentives and stuff, but basically I think it's for every, no, I think I'm making it every two, actually. Every 2 subs, we have to get rid of the highest rated player. For every 5, it's something else. It'll be listed. I'll put it down either in the description or it'll be on my Twitter, which will also be in the description. And so we're going to be raising money to write love on her arms, which will be awesome. It's a great organization. It's got a really good message. And this will be the second time that we do this. And the ultimate, like, not that I think anything like this will happen. I'd be really surprised. And so the ultimate, like, incentive is for 100 subs. We will actually delete our entire club this year if we reach that, which it's going to hurt. But it's all for a good cause, so anyway, thank you. Alright, let's see what you had, Apto. Played 6.88 overall rating in the season. Did he play the whole season? Did he play the whole season, Apto? Better than any right back for Barca. That's fair. I get what you're saying. They're still better than the rest. So do you think that they just need to be lower rated, or do you think that he needs to be higher rated? I guess you've already said that you think he needs to be higher rated, but be like 80 rated, not more, even 79. Yeah, I think that's fair. I was gonna say like 79 or 78. I don't think 75 is fair. I think 75 is too low. He's definitely gonna be gold, right? Like Iniesta is still 80, 81 or something like that. So I could see him being like 79, 80. I could see that. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Or as the kids say, I'm smelling what you're stepping in. I'm smelling what you're stepping in. Alvis 39 though, look up goals and oh, I got you. I got you. Yeah, the thing that they're gonna do with him is they'll give him really low pace, even though he's still pretty fast. Or they'll give him terrible stamina. That's also what they do. They give the older players terrible stamina, which I just think is very silly. But anyway, that was fun to do. I always like doing club tours. I think it's a good time. Also, we can open our 85 times 10. I want to get this Lewandowski. No. Yes. Oh man. Oh wow, that's actually a lot of team of the seasons. None of them are good, but you know, still.